Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I only know I'm gonna try.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Planet Zoo Creations. Today we're gonna be doing the Goliath Beetle, or the Goliathus, whatever. Anyways, that's the Latin name. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the build of this animal. So, first of all, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through the general information of the animal, then we're going to get into the exhibit build, and at the end of the video there will be a montage. That is basically what we're doing on this channel, always a one-take video, and then after I've done every animal, we're going to do a big zoo build. So anyways, let's get right into the information of the Goliath Beetle. So the Goliath Beetle, or the Latin name, is data deficient. Population in the wild is unknown currently. The Goliath Beetle, or Goliathus, is a large species of insect that lives in the savanna and rainforests of Central Africa. The males and females are different in appearance and size, the males being larger, between 60 and 100 millimeters, with a dark brown abdomen, a brown thorax with white stripes, black legs, as well as a white head with a Y-shaped horn, or shaped horn. The females have shorter, thinner stripes on the thorax, are smaller in size, between 50 and 80 millimeters, and do not have a horn. Little is known about the life cycle of this species in the wild, but it is threatened by habitat loss due to destruction of the rainforest that it lives. Natural habitat: continents Africa, regions Cameroon, Central African Republic, the Congo, Gabon, Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Uganda. In the biomes tropical and grassland. Minimum habitat requirements: they need a minimum habitat requirement of 23 degrees Celsius. Temperature requirement, sorry. A minimum of 23 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. And if you ask me, that is a pretty warm environment that they gotta be in. If it's lower than 20, they're gonna struggle. So yeah, that's only in a few spots in the world, and where they live is exactly there. They need a humidity then, which kind of does surprise me. It's a little bit less than I would have expected, but on the other hand, they also live in the savannas, so it makes sense. They need a humidity requirement of a minimum of 40% and a maximum of 60%, and of course they live in an exhibit. Species data. Social needs. Goliath beetles are solitary animals. Other than to mate or compete over mates, they do not interact in the wild. Reproduction. Male Goliath beetles establish a territory, fighting off rival males using the Y-shaped horn on their head and detecting any females that move through this territory via pheromonal signals. Once they have mated, the female will dig a shallow hole in sandy soil and lay her eggs inside, where they will hatch into larvae between 12 to 14 days later. The larvae will forage on decaying plant and animal matter on the forest floor until they reach approximately 100 grams in weight. At this point, they will bury themselves in the ground and pupate, remaining there for 5 months, hatching after the rainy season has made the ground moist. It takes approximately 1 year for an egg to become an adult, and these fully grown beetles emerge to begin to search for mates. Group size excluding juveniles, 1 up to 8. So we're gonna do 4 beetles. I'm thinking 2 males, 2 females, because the dominance is none and the mating system is polygynous. Averages. Size. The average size for a Goliath beetle, for an average size for a male Goliath beetle is 8 centimeters long, and the average female Goliath beetle size is 7 centimeters long. Life expectancy for a Goliath beetle for male and a female is both 2 years old, and the weight is unknown as average. And if you want to read the life cycle, go ahead. Research status. Fun fact 1. Goliath beetles are part of the scarab beetle family. Fun fact 2. The Goliath beetle can reach lengths of 110 millimeters. Fun fact 3. The Goliath beetle uses its tarsi, feet claws, to scratch at the bark of trees and extract sap. Fun fact 4. The larvae of the Goliath beetle require a high protein diet to achieve their large size as adults. So it is very important where a female chooses to lay her eggs. In fact 5. Goliath beetles have a short lifespan as adults. When they emerge from their pupa, they begin searching for a mate and will die soon after mating. Interspecies enrichment. The Goliath beetle doesn't benefit from sharing space with other species, of course. So let's get right into the build, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have seen videos of me playing Planet Zoo, then you're gonna know how this basically goes. We're gonna put up no barriers this time, but we're just gonna put on paths because this is what we do. So what I'm gonna create here is a pathway like this. Then the next thing that I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to facilities, animal exhibits, and because we're in an African environment, we're gonna pick an African small exhibit. And I'm gonna put it straight on right over there. Now the pathways that I'm gonna connect is basically like a square. I've done this many times. Sometimes people say that it's a good idea, sometimes people don't like it. I don't really care about it. It's just my way of making exhibits, and I think for the one-take videos at least, in normal circumstances I wouldn't, but you know, just how it is. So this is what I mean with a square. You basically make like a square, and then what I will do with the square is I'll basically fill it up with the animals, continent and regional plants, etc. So first of all, we can actually go and buy the animals so that they're in here. So that's what we're gonna do first. Then we're gonna type in Goliath Beetle, and we're just gonna buy these 4. Waiting in trade center, that's all good. Send to zoo. They're in there now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the females on receptives. Very nice. We're gonna get this started right away in a bit. Yes, I know that they're in low welfare at the moment, but just let me decorate everything and then we'll get to it. And I see a beetle already right here and here, and I think over there as well. Yep, that's 3 already spotted. Right. Now, the first thing that I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna get the educational boards up. There we go. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create nature. Plants, I'm gonna go to biome, grassland, and it was tropical, was it? Grassland and tropical, yeah. And then we're gonna go into the continent Africa. So now that everything's sorted out, we're gonna create the terrain. Yeah, I wanted to create something like this, some water over here, and we're just gonna place plants around it. So the African oil palm. I don't actually know why it's so deep into the ground. So we're just gonna create the most African zoo you can to make it look a lot like a real thing here. So, well, to not make it look like a real thing, I mean, to just make it look really nice. Gonna get some coconut palms here. Also want to do is just get some change in there, that it's not only grass. Okay, something like that. Some dry weed, maybe, dry grass. I'm already liking the look of this. I don't like this. I was trying to get it downwards. Okay. I know, guys, in my exhibit builds, I'm all over the place. Don't worry about it. The main thing is that it looks good at the end. That is basically all I really care about in the grand scheme of things. The sausage tree is still one of the most amazing trees in my opinion, because it's so, like, special. You don't have anything else like it, do you? Of course, since it's African, we gotta get this tree in here. I forget always the name. Umbrella thorn acacia tree. That is, in my opinion, one of the most unique trees ever. Might be because of the Lion King. I don't know. Comment down below if you think the same. But I just think it's such an iconic tree, and it just has to be in an African build. Like, it just has to. It just has to. That looks pretty alright over there. Just some rocks all stamped together. Oh, what the hell? Ah, yes, such a tree. I Totally forgot about those. The fever trees. They're crazy big, as you can see. The baobab. I'm not gonna place a baobab here. That's way too many. Way too less space to do that. What the hell was that all about? There's grass in the tree. I'm gonna be honest. I actually don't know a lot about the Goliath Beetle. I actually really know like almost nothing about it. I just realized like it's really a special animal. It's a unique type of beetle. Yeah, I actually can't wait to make the video on it, and I am at the moment, of course, but I mean like the animal part itself, like this is nice and all of that, but you know, I think this looks pretty decent as well. I think I'm just gonna keep it like this. It's unique, something else than I usually do with the tropical vibes. So yeah, for Africa I think this is decent enough. I'm gonna keep it this way. It's on inside here on the water and stuff. I think this is looking pretty decent for a nice exhibit. So let's get right into the animal build then. Okay, as we're gonna get into the build here, the animals of course, and then we're gonna go to layout, and then what I'm basically gonna do is check everything. So broken hollow log, let's place it in there. Yeah, the other wide hollow log, yeah, place it in there. Narrow hollow log, not so sure. Well, keep it in there. Let's just get it done. Yeah, leaf letter A. I don't see any. Nah, let's just no. B, yeah, B in this corner is good. I don't see C appearing, so I guess is it against this tree? Yeah, I like it. Okay. Then the tropical plants, they need to be in here. Yeah. Let's keep it in there, and then this one as well. Yeah. Okay, that looks perfect. The layout needs to be tropical like that, I think, personally. Alright, next up is the climate. They are in a little bit of too much warmth, so I would say let's keep it at 30, and the humidity needs to go down like crazy, so let's pick like 56 or something like that. I think it's a little bit like, let's do 53, something like that. That should be decent enough. Alright. So with that done, the animal is feeling nice now in the enclosure, so that's, or in the exhibit. So that is a very nice thing. So yeah, without further ado, that is actually everything that we had to do. I actually don't have I ever done an African exhibit build? I don't think so. I do like the look of it with the hay, or like, how do you say this in English? I don't know. I know it in my mother's language, but either way, I love it. With this, it's really cool. So without further ado, guys, I will not waste any more time, and let's get right into the montage of the Goliath Beetle. Okay, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the Goliath Beetle. And then I will see you all in the next episode of the Planetary Creations, where we will be taking on a wholly different animal. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.